Hello everybody, and welcome to my first YouTube video ever. I've never done this before, so I'm probably not going to be very good at it, so bear with me on that. Before we get started with the tour of my Vault 88, I did want to just mention some mods that I used. Basically I used Place Everywhere, Homemaker, and OCDecorator. I'm pretty sure those are the basic ones that I used to build anything. So with that said, we'll start with the first room. So basically, I didn't do much different here since all this stuff is pretty much set up for you already. I just added a bunch of turrets and a security desk as well. And that's about it. For the little screening area here, I did add a decontamination arch right after these radiation detectors. And then I did add some extra lighting up top here on both sides because it just seemed a little dark in here. I wanted it to look a little more welcoming to newcomers. So if we head over to the security room, again, I didn't do too much in here. I think I replaced whatever was right here with this security desk. I added a communication station where one of my security guards is stationed right now. I did clean up some clutter on the floor, but other than that, I'm pretty sure all this stuff was already in here. I did also just add this kind of bank of surveillance camera footage here just for effect. One other mod I do want to mention is I have the auto doors mod where you can craft these mechanisms here, which
Anybody need help with anything?
Which will basically make doors close automatically after a certain period of time. I think the default is either 5 or 10 seconds, but that will eventually close. Basically, I just get annoyed when settlers open doors and they don't close them, and sometimes I forget to close them, and then 10 minutes later, I'll see a door open and it annoys me. So that's a neat little mod that works very well for me. We'll head over to the generator room here. Again, didn't really change anything. I just cleaned up a bunch of the clutter and garbage that was on the floor. I do have some power coming off of there, going along the wall here. It goes down. It comes through here, goes up into this power conduit pipe up here, kind of snakes around. It forks off this way just so I can get power to the decontamination arch. But then it does go back down here and out this wall here, and I'll show you where that's going a little bit later. So next we'll go into the atrium area. So for this vault, I kind of wanted the atrium to be a public space for settlers and visitors alike, a place to trade, a place to eat, a place to hang out, especially for visitors, just a way for them to get out of the wastes and into a safe place for a little bit. I also wanted it to be very open feeling, so I didn't use those kind of arch pieces. I basically just built a giant rectangle with tons of lights and super high ceilings, and just wanted it to feel very open. So I do have some seating right here out in the middle of the floor here. Also have a little bit more kind of comfy seating right here, a little relaxation area. I do also have a little kind of reading nook here with some magazines. But the first room that we'll look in right on the left here is the cafeteria / diner. So we've got some, outdoor seating here for people that don't want to eat inside. Inside we got some pretty basic diner stuff. We got a jukebox here playing Diamond City Radio, and this jukebox actually plays a kind of I guess it's kind of like a soft piano music, which I didn't really like very much. I didn't really think it fit well with the diner vibe. So I actually put a radio that plays Diamond City Radio inside this jukebox on the floor, so you can't see it, but that's what's actually playing. We've got some soda machines here. We've got the bar counter here with the stools. This little spot here is where my food vendor would be, but I only just turned the beacon back on, so I don't really have any settlers yet. Food prep, dishwashing, little wash basin here. For food in the diner, we've got these 3 buffet style trays with goodies in it with the sneeze guards on top. For seating along the walls, I wanted to do kind of the traditional diner booth seating, and then in the middle we've got more of that vault metal picnic table type seating. We'll head on out here. We do have a little security office right here if people need any help. So pretty basic, just a security desk here, some ammunition and munitions crates, some storage. We also have a little bit of a jail cell over here, which if anybody gets too rowdy, we can toss them in there. And then just a couple windows that look out into that subway tunnel there. So right now I'm going to quickly show you where that power was going to in that front hallway there. We have a little utility maintenance hallway right here, signified by the red lights. Basically means only maintenance people are allowed back here. It's off limits to everybody else. So we have 3 doors back here that each go to those 3 kind of closed off subway tunnels. So there's door number 2, and we've got door number 3 back here. If you go around this way, you're basically going around the outside of the vault, or outside of the atrium, and out this door we can get to that wiring that comes out the wall there. And this wire goes all the way up and all the way around the entire atrium, eventually comes out the other side there, down through the subway tunnels, and that's what's powering the water pump down there in that east sector, I believe it is. So we'll kind of leave this area here, go back to the atrium. So that first room we saw on the other side here was the diner. Opposite, we've got more of an upscale kind of place to go, kind of bar lounge called Club 88. In here we've got some very intimate candle-lit seating right in the front of the stage for people that want to watch whoever's performing there. We've got this regular jukebox, which is actually playing the music that the jukebox normally plays, which is that kind of soft piano music. I kind of felt like that fit with this kind of room a little bit better. So we've got a kind of a fancy bar. We've got fancy sconces for lighting on the walls. We have a bit of a darker seating area here for people that just want to hang out, smoke some cigars, drink a little bit. We also have a little VIP area here. And I guess the idea being with these curtains, if they needed a little bit of privacy in their little party back there, they could close the curtains. And then a little dance floor area. And that's pretty much it for the club. So next we're going to head to the second floor for the rest of the kind of public areas for everybody. So up here, if we continue up these stairs on the left here, this is a public restroom for everybody, unisex. We got a little water fountain right there in that little corner there. And inside here, pretty standard stuff, just a couple urinals, a few toilets. I think I have an auto door shutter mechanism thing that's a little too close to this stall door because it keeps closing on its own. I was freaked out for a while by it until I figured out that it was probably just an auto door thing that's too close to it. So that's it for the restroom. We'll continue on to the shops here a little bit to the right. And this is my general store. So just kind of a bunch of random stuff for sale in here along these shelves. Some magazines for sale. And around this corner on this mat is where my trader would stand if I had one. But like I mentioned before, I turned off the beacon when I was building, and I only just turned it back on, so I don't have any settlers besides Clem over there and a couple of the security guards, and that's it. Here's my gun, weapon, and armor shop. First floor is all the guns and ammo. We got a couple fat men right here, I guess you would say. Fat men. So I didn't use OCDecorator too much because I just find it super tedious to put stuff down. So this is pretty empty. Maybe I'll go back and put stuff there. But right now it's not going to look very lived in. And I don't really have any settlers yet, so it doesn't really need to look lived in yet. But this is where my weapons dealer would stand. And then if you continue up the stairs, we go to the armor dealer room. So we got some power armor and mannequins with other various armor on display. And behind that counter is where my armor dealer would be. So continuing on the shops area, we've got a barber shop here. I've got it set up with 2 barber stations, so we can have 2 barbers going at the same time, and then a little waiting area right here with some magazines. Next, we've got the clothing store. I kind of stole the name from Tommy from Parks and Rec with the Rent the Swag name. But basically just some mannequins with clothing on display.
Degenerate?
And this is where they would stand. Up these stairs, I've got a game room here. Currently, I can hear Clem yelling at the slot machine. But we got a pool table, skee ball, basketball hoop. I'm probably going to get rid of this slot machine because it gets really annoying hearing everybody yell at it all day long. So I might get rid of that. Continuing down, we've got the classroom. So I used the nursery wallpaper for this, and I put up all these kind of historical paintings. I just thought that was a kind of good fit. The chalkboard kind of glitches with this wallpaper, but the closer you get to it, kind of stops glitching. So just 6 student desks. I don't have any mods going to like let me have children at the vault, so it's just kind of here just because I thought I should have a classroom, but I can't really use it since I have no kids. And then we continue on to basically the last public room, which is the clinic here. So the first room is like the little waiting area here. This counter is presumably where you would check in. Also, this counter will be where I'll have a medical supplies dealer as well. If we continue on through this hallway, we get to the actual room where procedures are done and where patients would recuperate. So we have a couple wheelchairs here. We've got the faux raptor. We've got the surgery center thing for, I guess it's facial surgery. Got a couple tables with random medical stuff on it. Couple gurneys, oxygen tank, couple beds. We got this thing, which I don't know what it is, but I think it might be meant to be like a way to decommission synths, but to me it looked like a medical device. It looks like it might fix your spine or something. Looks a little painful, but anyway, I thought it was a good fit to have something in like the operating room. So we also have a little med bay bed as well. And that pretty much does it for this room. We'll go back to the atrium here. And that's pretty much it for public areas in the atrium. Everything else is just kind of the more private areas for the settlers only that go off the atrium, so we'll explore those next. First, I am going to check out the overseer's room, which if you look up here, you can see their window way up there. I contemplated doing an elevator to that, but I didn't really like the elevator that comes with one of those workshops. It's kind of made of wood, and it looks really rickety and just doesn't have that vault vibe to it, so I didn't really want to use that. So instead we get these winding stairs, and I apologize if this hurts your head, me spinning around so quick here. Anyway, here's the overseer's office. I kept Barstow around this time because I just didn't really want to... I didn't want to be the overseer, so she's there. I got a little seating area with TV. We've got a bedroom area. We've got a bathroom. Give her a shower curtain for a little privacy if she needs it. Actually used the power conduit pipe as a shower curtain rod. And one last thing I'll show you here is I have another mod. I can't remember what it's called, but it allows you to place bunkers basically in a settlement. So I kind of wanted a place where the overseer could hide in the events of, you know, attack on the vault, or maybe there's a mutiny amongst the settlers, just a place they can hide out. And then I'll give you a little...
So strange having people about.
There's really no one here. So this is basically the look that the view that the overseer has of the atrium area. So you can pretty much see everything. Nice little view there. And that pretty much does it for the atrium. real quick. I'm going to run down these stairs, and we will move on to the areas outside the atrium. So to start, we'll go straight down here. We'll go to the north sector here, which will be our hydroponics and research areas. So right on the left and right here we have 2 hydroponics rooms, and basically in here I just have planters set up. So we got some mut fruit, carrots here, corn, and here we've got potatoes, I believe these are gourds, and then melons. And the last room here at the end is the research room. So we've got some specimen tubes here, don't know what that is, but we got a deathclaw egg with some goop coming out of it. We've got some kind of sac there, a deathclaw claw, some microscopes, some human remains, and here we have, I think this is blood bug proboscis, however you say that, proboscis. So we'll move out back to the atrium. We're going to go on the other side here, which will lead to the northeast sector. So I do also have this little employees only janitor closet here with just a bunch of random stuff in it. Now we'll head to the northeast sector where we have the residential areas, fitness center, and showers. So on the first floor is where we have the fitness center here. There's a sign for it. So it looks like we got Clem in here doing some stuff. We got a couple pommel horses. We got the 3 bench press stations, a couple benches with free weights, and 3 power cycles. Looks like Clem is gonna do some bench presses. Then if you get all sweaty in the fitness center here, right to the left we have the showers. And we basically have 5 shower stations here, each with towels. I also did kind of the same thing I did with the overseer's bathroom, where I used the power conduit tubes as shower curtain rods. So just in case this glass doesn't fog up enough to give you any good privacy, you got the shower curtain if you need it. Next, we're going to head down to the residential area down these stairs. So we'll head down there real quick. For the residential area, split into 3 sections, A, B, and C. So the first section, we got 3 apartments that are in section A, 1A, 2A, and 3A. We got 10 apartments altogether just because there's bunk beds in each one, 2 people per apartment, and I only plan on having anywhere from 15 to 20 settlers, so I should have enough beds for everybody. The setup for each room is pretty much the same, 4 square rooms, and bunk beds, 2 dressers, some seating, and a desk. Everything's pretty much set up the same, except the seating and dressers will be a little bit different, but everything else is pretty much the same. I'll just show you these first 3 just to give you an idea. I may go back into these rooms with OCDecorator and actually place some stuff to make them look more lived in, but since I have no settlers really right now, I'm not going to get into that. This maintenance hallway goes to my other reactor and the water pump area. We'll skip that for now, head down, continue the residential. So after that first section A, we do have a laundry room for everybody with 6 washer and dryer stations. Again, nothing too fancy in there. And then we also have a common room right here. So this is for the settlers who maybe they want to make something to eat. They don't want to go all the way up to the atrium to go to the diner or whatever. They just want some privacy with other settlers to eat, and so they can eat at those tables here. They also got some seating here that they can hang out, and a TV right next to that as well. So again, if they don't want to mingle with visitors or anything, they can eat something in there. We'll now go to section B down here to the right. We've got 1B, there's 5 apartments here, 2B, 3B, 4B, and 5B down here. Again, I'm not going to show you every apartment. They're all basically the same as those first 3 I showed you, just slightly different furniture basically. Then we'll go down to section C. It takes a little bit to get there since these are just those skinny tunnels where you can't really build much. But down here we have the last two apartments, which are 1C and 2C. I originally built way more apartments because I was intending to have an apartment for each settler, but I just thought that these smaller rooms, these 4 square kind of rooms with the bunk beds, just it felt more cozy. I could fit furniture better than having bigger rooms with, they just look too empty having just single beds. So I decided to squeeze everything in a little bit better into this first section here. Because I originally had this whole other set residential area back here with huge rooms and a bunch more rooms back there, but I decided to close that off and not use it. I may use it for something else eventually, but for now it's locked. You can't go in there. To lock that, I also used auto doors for that. They have a locking mechanism here, so I can use this switch here so that I can go back there. There is a room back there where I can get out to go to the north sector where I can go to the subway to go out that ladder exit, which I think brings you out to that Fallon's store in the Commonwealth. So I do have access to get there if I needed to through that way, but I'm not going to show you that since there's really nothing back there except a bunch of empty rooms that aren't being used for anything. So we'll double back here and we'll check out that maintenance hallway, which you can kind of see that faint red light. Again, red lights mean maintenance, utility, no regular settlers, no visitors. This is just for maintenance people only. And that will take us to our backup reactors, or secondary reactor, and the water pump. So we'll kind of head up here. So we have 2 hallways that just kind of basically go around the water pump. If we head down here, we'll get to this door to the reactor room. This reactor room kind of doubles as both a reactor room and just general maintenance room. So we've got some storage here. We've got a couple workbenches here, scavenging station. Got some electronics on the wall to make sure everything's working right. The pump and the reactors are all working. More electronics. Here's the 2 backup secondary reactors. I did put 2 communication stations here because I wanted a place where I could have a maintenance worker be stationed here, or 2 maintenance workers. I have heard that Vault 88 AI pathing is not so great the farther you get away from the main room, the main atrium room. So I'm going to try to assign people to these once I have settlers. We'll see if they actually come back here. I'm not sure if they will, but we'll see what happens. So this door right here would just take you back down that other hallway, just around the other side of the water pump, and you would eventually just get back to that residential area. You can also go out here, which would take you to that tunnel, that train tunnel. So I believe I read somewhere that attacks can come from this location here. So I did put a little guard station here with some extra turrets. I do have 2 heavy laser turrets right here. This tunnel would just go to the back of that security room that's on the atrium, or in the atrium, that had those 2 windows looking out. But you can also get back to the atrium through this tunnel. We have one of those mini vault doors set up here. Normally that would be closed, but it's open at the moment. Suppose I can close it real quick. And you get the idea here. And then you can come out right here. And this takes you right back to the atrium. That's where we left to go to that residential area, and this is where we come back. And that is pretty much it for my vault. So I do plan on eventually, once I have more settlers, I may go back and use OCDecorator and add some more stuff, add some more static objects, we'll see. But I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I'm really excited to see once I actually have settlers that I can assign to everything, how that's going to go. I don't have the best PC in the world, so I'm sure my frame rate will drop crazy once there's like a bunch of scripting and a bunch of settlers here, but I'm excited to see it more of like a lived-in look once they start coming. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, this is my first video I've ever made. I'm not really good at talking, so hopefully it wasn't too boring for you. But I'm happy with the way the vault came out. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment if you have any feedback for me. All right. Like I said, thanks again for watching.